Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to Starting a Stock Investment Club. I'm Cami Zaracki, CEO of Better Investing, and with me tonight is Dennis Genord, the Director of Education for our organization, as well as a group of folks who are volunteering in our back room to help answer any of your questions. Let me tell you a little bit about Better Investing. We're a nonprofit association of stock investment clubs and individual investors. We've been around since 1951, and during that time, Better Investing, along with our volunteers, has helped tens of thousands of investment clubs and millions of individual investors learn successful stock investing. Now, as a nonprofit organization, we do not make stock recommendations, we do not take any commissions, and we don't manage member portfolios. Instead, we teach people how to invest wisely themselves. And our whole purpose as an organization is to create successful, lifelong investors.
Hi, folks. Here's a couple of photos of real Better Investment Clubs. Our clubs send us pictures whenever we feature them in the BI magazine or on our website or for other club-related activities. It's really nice and builds that sense of community that we strive for here at Better Investing. Now, the Better Investing community embraces three common core beliefs. We believe that stock investing skills can be learned and effectively applied by virtually anyone. Investment education provides the power to make smart investment choices and achieve the long-term financial goals we strive for. We will help you do that. And when you couple the learning with a strong and knowledgeable group of fellow investment club members, the opportunities to learn multiply, and so does the results, which is the creation of a successful stock portfolio. This is why investment clubs are the foundation of the Better Investing organization and the building blocks of our learning and investing community. So what is an investment club? Well, here's a picture of one. This is a group of volunteers from our OKI chapter who run one of our model stock investment clubs. Our model clubs are located around the country and online, and are free for visitors to attend and to see how an actual club operates. If you can see it in person, you could actually, if you're in the area where the club is actually conducted, you can actually attend the meeting live, or if it's more convenient, you can attend an online meeting where you can listen in on a session, much like we're doing tonight with a webinar. So quite simply, a stock investment club is a group of folks who get together regularly to learn about and invest in stocks. Most groups form a partnership to learn how to invest in stocks using Better Investing's common sense, fundamental stock investing approach. They apply that learning to create and manage a portfolio of high-quality growth companies purchased at a good price. These partnerships can consist of family members, coworkers, a church group, high school, college friends, or any mix of interested folks. Stock investment club partnerships create a business and social structure that are ideal for learning and investing. So we're hooked. Folks, Cam and I are both hooked on investment clubs. Like many Better Investing members, I personally wanted to learn how to invest in stocks and manage my own portfolio. I did not want to rely on someone else to do that for me. I found out about Better Investing through a friend a number of years ago, over 30 years ago actually, and decided to attend one of the local chapter events here in my area to see what it was all about. And I was hooked immediately. I worked to get up to speed on the stock selection methodology, understanding it, making sure I was comfortable with it. And shortly after that, I started to form my first investment club. And it was a group of old friends from high school. It was a great club and a great time, great learning time, learning vehicle. And that was the first of three investment clubs I belonged to. And I can say without a doubt that being an investment club is the best way for someone to get started with stock investing. Over the years, I've been able to gain the know-how and just as important, the confidence to become a successful stock investor. I wouldn't trade my club experiences for anything. How about you, Cammie? How did you get hooked on investment clubs?
Yeah, well, I actually belong to two different investment clubs. The first one is my family investment club. We call ourselves the Zaraki Investment Club, or Zinc. And we started about a year after I joined Better Investing as a CEO. And, I had been talking about investment clubs, and I had decided that I needed to actually learn more about them sort of firsthand. And so my family was very interested in joining me and trying to learn together. And so we formed our Zinc, and it's turned out to be a great experience. I also belong to another investment club called Baker's Dozen. And there, the way I found out about this club and how I joined it was a little different. I had been attending several different chapter events that were put on by the Southeast Michigan chapter. And every time I went, I kept meeting these same couple of women. We would sit together and chat, and we just had a great time. And the third time that this happened, I said to them, you wouldn't want to have a new member to your investment club, would you? And sure enough, they said yes. So that too has turned out to be a great experience. I've been a member of that club now for more than 5 years, and it's been great to learn with them everything that we need to know about stock investing and managing our portfolio. So it's really been a great experience for me. So you must be saying to yourself, so how do I join an investment club? Well, we've already highlighted a couple of different ideas. Start by checking with your Better Investing chapter. If you go up on the Better Investing website and you see the address right there, you'll find some information that says, find a chapter near me, and you can go and input your zip code, and up will pop up a chapter that's near you. So you can get up there and see what kind of events they've got going on within that chapter, including whether or not they've got a model club meeting that you might be able to sit in on. But I'm going to suggest that you also look for a particular program called Visit a Club. Visit a Club is a program that any investment club, any Better Investing investment club can participate in. And these are basically clubs that are saying, hey, we think this investment club idea is great, and we're open to having guests kind of sit in on our meetings so that they have the opportunity to learn more about investment clubs and investing as well. So that's one way to kind of find out more about investment clubs. I already mentioned attending a model club meeting, so either one of those two ways is a great way to sit in on an existing investment club, just to again learn more about clubs and to find out if it's something that you might enjoy participating in. And then, of course, your other option is to form a new club. Now, I want you to know that Better Investing offers a lot of support and resources for new clubs to help you get started. And the most important thing that you can do when you are starting an investment club is to ask for a mentor. So here's the information right here in front of you in terms of who you need to get in contact with here at Better Investing, and we'll get you assigned to a mentor. Now, a mentor is certainly not going to do the things for you, but they will help guide you through the process of getting your investment club started. They'll answer questions, and they might even put on a class or two for you and your other investment club members so that you can learn more about investing. Now, some mentors can help in person while they're actually physically go sit in on an investment club meeting. That happens if the mentor happens to be physically located near to where the club is meeting, or they can do it over the phone, or lastly, they can do it via webinar or Skype, much like we're doing tonight.
Yeah, with today's online meeting technology, your mentor will help you get started quickly and efficiently, and they'll be there to answer any questions you have. Your mentor, they can even attend your club meeting with you, and that way they can help assist all club members with their questions as well. And as you can see in this picture, this is an actual club meeting taking place with a representative joining the meeting online, right while the meeting's going. So it's, your mentor using online technology, is just a great way to really utilize your mentor, and it enables your mentor to be there right by your side as you get your club up and running. So mentors can really make a difference. And remember, there's no need to go it alone. So here's another one of our clubs. This is a club of college friends from North Carolina. They're in their second year now, and they're thriving as a club. The lady on the far in the red on the far right is the club's mentor, and actually is one of our national volunteers. So to get your club started, it's important to begin talking with folks about the concept of forming a stock investment club and to begin putting together an initial core group of people who you feel have the enthusiasm that you do and are willing to consider forming a club. Once you have your initial group, schedule a first meeting. At the meeting, present the concept of a stock investment club again, and this time provide some additional detail. We have all that information for you. We can help you structure that meeting. From there, you should be able to decide who's serious about going forward. That will make it possible for you as a group to work together and take the next step of identifying the tasks that need to be accomplished and who will work on which of the tasks. So, let's hear a little bit more about how clubs operate.
Yes. So the first thing you need to know about an investment club is that it is actually a legal business partnership. And the purpose of the legal business partnership is to make money. So there's several very important steps that every club needs to go through in order to get started. They need to register their name with their state or county. It kind of depends by the location. You need to obtain what's called an EIN number from the IRS, and that's for tax reporting purposes. So as I mentioned before, an investment club is a business partnership, and like every business partnership, the earnings of the partnership actually flow through to the partners in the form of income. And so we know, of course, then that's why we need to, that's how we pay the taxes on the earnings that come from the investment club. And because it's reflected as personal income. And then the other thing, of course, the other important things that you need to do in addition to getting your name filed and that EIN number is you need to make sure that you approve your partnership agreement and your bylaws. So those are the documents that you really need to get focused on. And they're very important. In particular, the partnership agreement is going to protect your assets. So as an investment club partner, you're going to be investing your money into the investment club. And so you want to make sure that that money is protected, and that helps, that partnership agreement helps you do that. The combination of the partnership agreement and the bylaws also describes how the club is going to operate. Some of the, you can think about them as the basic rules of the road, what the requirements are for club partners, what the roles and responsibilities are, and so on and so forth. And also helps to ensure that all the partners and the investment club are committed to operating and investing under the same set of investing principles. And that's really important too, because that's how it's going to be easier to make sure that you're all of the same mindset in terms of how you're going to be evaluating the stock investments that you'll be making as the club. And the other important thing about these documents, of course, is that they describe the business purpose of the club, which I said before is to make money, but it is also to make sure that you're continually learning about stock investing. Now, at Better Investing, we teach a certain set of core principles. You see them listed here on this particular chart. And what's really important about these 4 principles is that they enable us to focus on the long term, on long-term investing, and therefore we don't get all caught up in the swings of the market. I don't know about you, but I'm a pretty busy person, and there's a lot of things that I would like to be doing with my time, and so it really helps if I'm not spending too much time trying to manage my portfolio. I certainly don't like to do it on a daily basis. I just don't have the time to do that. I'd like to be living my life. Thank you very much. And so these principles enable me to do that. The other thing about these principles is that they allow us to take advantage of compounding. And that is the way in which we get our money to work for us. So, I work really hard for my money and to set aside the amount that I want to save and invest. I could certainly put it in the bank or put it in a certificate of deposit and get maybe 2%, 2.5%. But honestly, I want a greater return for that. And I know from the various studies that I've seen that over time, the history of the stock market has been that on average, the stock market returns about 10% a year. That doesn't happen every year. Some years it returns a lot more, and other years it returns a lot less. But over time, it returns at 10%. So because I'm in the stock market or because I'm in stock investing for the long term, I'm okay with that. I want to get my money working hard for me. And so that's why, it's another reason why I really like following these particular investing principles, because that enables it to happen. And we do that by making sure that we're investing in quality stocks. It's kind of intuitive, but quality stocks hold up better over time. So at Better Investing, we spend time teaching people to make sure people know how to identify a quality company and the stock that's associated with that company, how to verify that it's still a quality stock, and then how to determine what the potential that stock has to continue to be a quality stock. So it's all about that. And then lastly, of course, we're focused on diversifying our holdings that we have in our portfolio to minimize the inherent risk that's associated with investing in stocks. Now, we also are focused on teaching and learning. Now, here you see examples of the sorts of things that you and your club will learn by participating in a stock investment club. And I'll just tell you one example from my family investment club, Zinc. We had inherited stocks from our parents, and none of them were in technology, which is kind of a surprise. But once we became, more conversant and adept at following the stock analysis methodology that we use at Better Investing, we actually did a portfolio review, and as a result of doing that, we're able to determine which stocks weren't working as hard for us as we wanted to. So we identified which stocks we wanted to sell. And then the other thing that we did is that we also then went through an analysis where we took a look at different technology stocks to try to figure out which was going to be the best one to put in our portfolio. And so we went and we made those changes in the portfolio. And everything's been working, pretty well up to this point in time. Now, just like everybody else, we kind of went through the last experience of the last couple of months in terms of what happened in the stock market, but our portfolio overall has worked very well for us. And the other thing that's important to know, and I experienced this with my other stock investment club, is that sometimes our members want to take out partial withdrawals for one reason or another. One particular member in my other club wanted to pay down their debt before they retired because they wanted to retire debt-free. Another person wanted to make a partial withdrawal because they were looking to pay for a big vacation. And they were able to do that through the position that they had in their investment club. They were able to take those partial withdrawals. And because of the processes that we follow at Better Investing, our club was able to determine how to address those unique needs for those particular members. So Dennis, I think at this point has some things to share with us about some of the software that will help people in that when they're trying to think about the different accounting aspects of running an investment club.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one area that folks have questions about, and that is, how does the club's accounting get taken care of? Well, we've got that covered. The myiClub.com online club accounting application. This is a product endorsed by Better Investing. This is the accounting and club management platform of choice for the majority of U.S. investment clubs. myiClub.com offers a robust and comprehensive partnership accounting engine, along with a growing suite of tools for both the portfolio management side and club operations side. All club members can view the club's data at any time in myiclub.com. Providing complete transparency, so everybody can see everything anytime. And at the same time, it provides administrative access to those managing transactions and other activities. So it can safeguard against, things accidentally happening in a portfolio with too many folks having access, but the window is always open into the application so folks can always see what's going on. It's a very user-friendly application. It makes it possible for all club members to be comfortable with not only accessing the data, but even being able to take care of the accounting tasks that are required of the club. It really is that simple. And there's a reporting feature, which is one of my favorites. There's over 30 reports that can be accessed by any club member. Reports such as monthly valuation reports, portfolio diversification reports, transaction summary reports, just a slew of reports that are just dynamic, and you just really want to dig into them. They make it so easy for you to see everything that's important to the partners in the club, and it really enables folks, your fellow partners, to really take in the information and understand it. So just great reporting. And one of the reports too is the member status report, and that's one that is another area that we get questions about from folks looking into investment club, and that is, is if you put your money in this big pool of money, is it, what happens to that? And really, whatever capital you contribute in the club is yours. It belongs to you. It's important to understand that. So your capital contributions, the money you invest, belongs to you and not the other partners. Your assets can be accessed by you by making a partial or a full withdrawal upon request. You make the request to the club, to the partnership, and it's in accordance with the partnership agreement that Cammie was talking about, and that's all you need to do. And that money is yours. Okay, so bottom line, your money belongs to you. So let's take a minute and hear about some other clubs.
Yeah, so got a few pictures here of some other clubs, and just a little bit about what's motivated them to join Better Investing. So take a look at the club in the lower right-hand corner. That's actually a young couple. This picture itself is about 5 years old. And at the time, this couple was recently married, and they received a Better Investing membership as a wedding present. Wasn't that wonderful? And so anyway, this couple sort of jumped right in, and they wanted to learn about investing because they thought that this was the best way to build wealth so that they could have the secure life that they wanted to have for themselves and for this new family that they were creating. So I just thought that was wonderful. Actually, there's a picture of my investment club over here on the lower left-hand side. We actually met this past December for the holidays and decided to have a little fun. But we have some new members to our club, and some younger gentlemen who have joined us in the last 2 years. And one of them in particular, once I got to know him a little bit, I asked him why he was interested in investing and why was he interested in joining an investment club. And his comment to me was, well, I really needed to start building, some wealth so that I could buy, so he could buy a house. And I was thinking about that I would start flipping houses. And then I thought, oh no, a stock investment club has to be much less work. So that's why he decided to join an investment club. So I thought that was pretty cute. Another member of my investment club says regularly that she belongs to an investment club and likes to put her money in an investment club because she gets a higher return for it than she would if she was putting it in a bank. And that's allowed her to do different things with her family. So everyone has different reasons for why they want to belong to an investment club. But the nut of it is, regardless of what an individual's specific motivation is, everyone's coming together because they want to figure out how they can have their money work harder for them, they're trying to find out what they can do to help ensure their financial freedom. So I'm hoping that in sharing some of these stories with you tonight, that you'll be considering about joining an investment club or starting your own.